Hello. Oh no.
Hello.
Kelly froze on my
Oh,
screen, but it's fine. Whatever. Uh, hello. Welcome to Say You Think You're Iconic. Oh, Kelly froze. Hmm. Weird. Were you on here twice? Were you on here twice?
I don't know why I'm on here twice. Can I can I remove it?
I don't know.
It won't let me remove it. It says chat or pin video. Oh, there
Okay,
you
it's gone.
go.
Let's start over.
Oh, wait. Okay, continue. Okay, so I did what I did the last time where I pressed leave meeting instead of continue.
That that makes so much sense. Of course you would.
Yeah, of course I would. Yeah, I haven't been doing this every week for the past, I don't know, year.
Here.
And well, in my defense, they haven't been doing this for a year.
Just for 2 months.
Shut up.
Okay, we're starting over.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to Say You Think You're Iconic, the movie podcast where Kelly does not know how to use technology or
Stop.
read, apparently.
Stop. To cover that, more importantly, welcome to spooky season.
Welcome to spooky season. We're starting 2 days early this year,
Woohoo!
which for us is 2 weeks early, but whatever.
Yeah, that's just how recording works.
Yeah.
You are hearing us from the past.
Ooh.
Tell us how it's
Are
going.
we even still alive?
Right? Are we still alive? Have we made it 2 weeks in the future? I don't know, man.
I
It's
guess
looking
you'll
kind of
find out in
dicey.
3 weeks. So speaking of weeks, how was your week, Kelly?
um, actually, pretty exciting.
Ooh,
Um,
exciting.
well, exciting to me. I'm gonna
Oh,
clarify
okay,
that.
so
Exciting to me.
boring. Got it.
So the bed sheets that I
Of
ordered.
course I was right. Of course I was right.
Shut up. They came in the mail and I now have my beautiful baby blue sheets on my bed. They're so soft. I cry. Um they're so amazing. I love them so much. They're bamboo sheets, by the way. I splurged. And by splurged I meant I waited until Labor Day weekend and got 30% off my purchase.
That's her version of a splurge.
Yes,
Me
I
and her are two different people.
we are very different people because I remember I told we have a group chat with me, Jordan, and another friend. And I literally told them, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm having a treat yourself day. I'm having a really great day. I dressed up all cute and I got myself a drink from Starbucks. And Jordan's like,
That is not a treat yourself
that is not
day.
a treat yourself day.
If
And I'm just so like, oh,
if she really wants to see a treat yourself day, when we hang out next weekend, I'll show her a treat yourself day.
yeah. And then I'll be broke.
That's the point. It's a treat yourself day. It does not matter.
Bruh, a treat myself day is literally going to Target, getting the things I need, and then maybe buying myself a nice new nail polish
That's
or a
not a
shirt or
treat
something.
yourself day. That's a Tuesday. Come
That's
on,
a
Kelly.
Tuesday.
I literally have $150 worth of clothes sitting on my bed that just arrived here.
Yeah, from Old Navy.
Like, mm, that wasn't even a treat yourself day for me.
That was just a regular Wednesday.
Oh, if you really want to treat yourself, like a real treat yourself day, you should come out
Oh,
Black Friday shopping with me.
oh
I'll
God,
show
I
you a
can't
treat
even
yourself day.
imagine. I can't even
You
imagine.
should have seen how much clothes I came home with last year. Not last year.
I would be afraid to go.
The
I'm
year before
afraid to
COVID.
go. Yeah,
Yeah, you
no,
should have
but
seen.
I'm afraid to go Black Friday shopping just because of how aggressive people can
They're not
be.
that aggressive.
I can't imagine.
It's not that bad.
Well, I've heard stories from my brother and my dad when they go like Black Friday shopping to Best Buy and whatever.
I've only
But
gone like 3 times.
I can't imagine what it's like shopping with you.
Oh, I go shopping with a mission. Like, I don't want to be there long.
I know you probably have a laid out plan.
Kind of.
You have an itinerary. You have time
Yeah,
slots.
I know exactly what I'm here for. I'm here to pick up those things, and then I'm ready to go. Like, that's how it goes.
You've studied the blueprint of the store.
I went a couple
You have
of
your
weeks
ins and
before.
outs.
I made friends with all the employees so that they'll give me an employee discount as well.
That you see things, you come in every week until Black Friday, you point things out that you like, and you're like, is that gonna be on sale?
Right,
It is. Can you just like shove it somewhere?
I know they tell you weeks in advance. I used to work at a store, so just like throw in the back for me. Throw it in the back.
Right. Like customer service solidarity, bro. Like I've been there. We've been there. So throw us some love.
I won't sign up for your store's credit card, but like I'll sign up for the rewards program. I don't care.
Yeah, I you just want my email or something? That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
I just won't get a credit card.
Yeah.
Sorry. Like I know you're forced to ask me that, but like I'm not.
Try older people. They usually talk them into it.
They'll fall for that one.
Yeah. Well, as for me, I started my first week of my new job. Yay! I get to work from home, guys.
You suck.
I literally went the entire week without leaving my house. Kelly was like, you need to go outside.
I know. He's like, I'm like, you need to get fresh air. He's like, I have my window open. I'm like, that is not what I meant, and you know it. Like, go outside in the air.
Like, I literally did not leave my house that entire week.
I'm so dead.
And so on Friday, my sister left something at home. And so she texted me and she was like, can you bring this to me? And so I used that as my excuse to leave.
There you go. Good for you.
So, yeah.
Thank you, Nyla, for
I put on pants for the first time in a week.
No way, bro.
I got in my car for the first time in a week.
Bruh, I'm dead.
And
the car's like, oh, we're going somewhere?
He's like, whoa, let me warm up first.
Right. Whoa. Where are you going? How far?
My car is filthy. Like, it has not been cleaned. Like, it needs to be washed really bad. But, like, I don't leave, so.
Yeah, you don't go anywhere.
And I didn't go anywhere this weekend, so I'm not going to leave my house for another 5 days.
Oh my gosh. So maybe it's a good thing we're going out that weekend.
Yeah.
Finally get you out of the freaking house.
But yeah, I love not having to leave because I'm new, so I don't know how to do anything. So they'll just leave me for long stretches of time doing nothing. And so instead of having to like try to look busy, I can just turn on Charmed and watch Charmed until like someone teams me or sends me an email.
That's literally what my brother does because he works from home as well. And like I have Mondays off, and so sometimes I'll go into his room to ask him something, and like I'll walk in, he's literally playing video games. Yeah. And I'm like, bro, are you working? He's like, yeah, I'm working. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, if you ain't got nothing to do, you could just watch TV.
like even my mom, she does work, like she has consistent work throughout the day, but she's still got Netflix up on the TV in front of her. I'm like, Ma.
Yeah, the only time I turn on, even if I am working, which like I don't do much, like it's been a week, and what they do is very extensive. I will still have my TV playing in the background. I'll only like pause it and turn it off if I have a meeting.
I'm so dead. I'm so dead.
But yeah, I love it. And they're talking about going back into the office in November. I'm just going to be like, can I just stay home? Like, first off, I don't want to go into the city.
Yeah, that's going to be rough.
Yeah, don't want to do that. So just let me work from home. Like literally I can do everything from home. Please don't make me go.
Yeah. Oh my God. You know what you do? you work very well from home and be like, why would you disrupt all this work that I'm doing? I'm doing so
Yeah.
well at home.
I have a process
I work
here.
better.
Yeah.
Right. That's literally what my brother's doing and my mom, because they like, I guess they'll have like team meetings, and like every week they're like, oh my gosh, like the cases or whatever we're dealing with, like we're getting more of it done every week. And they're like, yeah, let us stay
Yeah,
home
let
then,
us
because
stay
we work
home.
a lot better from home.
I do want to go like
Like,
one day to go
bruh.
see my office because like it
Mm-hmm.
looks nice from like the pictures I've seen. So maybe I'll go like one
I
day,
mean,
and then we have like 24-hour
technically, you could literally
access.
just. Oh wow.
Yeah. But yeah, also I
You
will,
could literally just like go to the city and just be like, oh, I'm gonna stop by my work, look at it. Okay, I'm
yeah,
good.
I gotta go use the
Goes into
bathroom,
something else, goes home.
go up to the kitchen,
Yeah.
get some snacks, and then go home.
I mean, why not?
But yeah, I will say though, I have no idea what I'm doing. Absolutely no idea what I'm doing.
Maybe that's the only downside of working from home and starting a new job from home.
Yeah.
Because you literally have like zero in-person guidance.
Yeah. I have one of my supervisors who's helping me, and she's doing her darndest, but like our I almost said the program we use.
Ooh.
Our program we use was not really working for me all this week.
Ooh. Oof.
Yeah. And then I don't know how to use a MacBook that well.
Oh, poor
So
baby.
it's a learning curve that I'm having to learn on my own.
I
It's a
mean,
mess.
you get used to it. You just have to remember that the controls for a window are on the opposite side now. You don't have an alt key, you have a command key.
I hate that dumb command key. Because like to copy something on a Windows, you press Control C.
Yeah, it's command
On the
C
it's
now.
Command C, and the command is not in
Mhm.
the same place that Control is in. It sucks. I hate it. And then
You'll get used
you
to it.
can't left click. I hate that.
You can left click.
How? I've been trying for a week to left click on things and it won't do it.
So you're using a laptop, right?
Yeah.
It's two finger.
What,
It's a two finger
what
click.
do you mean it's a two? What does that mean?
So you know how you can like just select things with one click with one finger?
Yeah.
So if you want to left click, you use two fingers to press
That is the
the
dumbest
mouse
thing I've ever
the
heard in
mouse
my
pad down.
entire life.
I want you to try it when we're done, because I swear to you that that's how that works.
That makes literally no sense.
Well,
Whatever.
because you're using a trackpad, not a mouse.
I hate it here. Why couldn't this job just be cheap and give me a ThinkPad Windows computer like every other job?
But they want to seem bougie and give you a Mac.
If you want to be bougie, pay me more. Because I will say, in this in the city, with my if I like lived in the city with my how much I make, I would be considered lower. I almost said class.
That's not what
That's
you're
not what I
looking
meant to
for.
say. Low income. There we go.
Low
I
income.
would be considered
Yeah,
low
there you go.
income, and that's weird because it seems like a lot of money to me. But
I know.
I would still be considered low income.
Maybe it's just because we've been used to getting lower pay from our other jobs, that like
Maybe.
all of this money coming in at once, you're like, oh my gosh, this is a lot of money.
Yeah. I mean, not that I would ever want to live in the city. Never.
Yeah, no, that's way too much.
But yeah, we've talked about my problems way too long. Let's talk about these white people's problems.
Yes.
So this week, to start off spooky season, we're talking about Scream. I got Kelly to watch a scary movie, even though it's not scary.
I know, but I did get a little disturbed.
Oh, boohoo.
Oh, your baby. Your baby get disturbed.
The only like gross part is like at the beginning of the movie to me.
Yeah, I think that's the only part that really got me was I think it's because the scene with
Mhm.
her and the tree,
Yeah.
it reminds me of a scene in a video game
Oh,
that disturbed me just as much. It's an actually scary game. So it triggered me, and that video game, like, it was hard to sleep some nights after watching it.
Kelly. Okay.
No, don't pull that on me. It was actually scary.
Okay.
Okay, that video game is actually scary.
So, um, speaking of scary, I'm gonna need all of you to talk Kelly into going to Halloween Haunt with me.
Absolutely not.
She'll she'll have fun. It's fun to be scared. It's fun. It's different than watching a scary movie. Like she'll love it.
Yeah, I'll actually be in there screaming my head off.
Yeah, it's
It's
fun. It's
fine.
fun. We're going. I'm getting our other friends to come
No.
too. We're all gonna go as a group. It's
No.
gonna be fun. We're going. I'm buying
No.
tickets as we speak.
No.
Okay, but back to the movie. Okay,
Okay.
so our movie starts off with Casey Becker. She's alone in her house when she gets a phone call from a stranger. This person is asking dumb questions like, "Who is this?" Even though they called.
Yeah.
They called.
And she gives really great responses. She's like, "Well, who are you looking
Yes,
for?"
like, who are you looking for?
Yeah,
And
and
then he's
there's
like,
like,
"Whose number is this?" Like,
it's
you
just,
you called
you
this
dialed
number.
it.
Yeah, and then so she assumes it's a wrong number and hangs up. The person calls again and begins to flirt with her, but she hangs up again,
She
as she
should.
should. Sometime later, Casey is making popcorn on the stove. Don't know how that works, but
You've never
I
used
mean,
one
I
of those
know how
before?
it works, but like, I've never done it. we
It's fun.
we've always just either had the popcorn maker,
Mm-hmm.
where you just throw the
Yeah,
things in,
throw
yeah,
the kernels in there. Yeah,
or we would just use like the bagged ones and throw it in the microwave.
microwave. Yeah,
Never used it on the stove one.
it's a cool experience just to have it like rise, but literally that's it.
It's scary. It scares me. Maybe
That's
because of
fair.
this movie. But we'll
Maybe
get into that.
actually.
Yeah, and so the person calls again and she answers for some reason
Yeah,
and starts telling them exactly what she's doing. How she's,
yeah. That's where she lost me.
yeah.
That's where she
They're
lost
like,
me.
"What are you doing?" She's like, "Oh, I'm just making popcorn and about to watch a scary movie."
Right. And he's like, "What movie?" And she proceeds to tell him
Yeah,
like everything she's gonna do that night. And I'm like, "Girl, what?"
yeah. She states her
Uh,
favorite movie is Halloween and asks what theirs is, and they say Nightmare on Elm Street, and they bond over this for some reason. These two strangers.
strange. Yeah.
During this entire conversation, Casey is walking around her house locking doors because every single door in her house is
Is
unlocked.
is unlocked. It's nighttime, by the way.
Yes,
And everything is just unlocked.
everything is unlocked. The person on the phone asks if she has a boyfriend, and she states no before the caller asks what her name is because they want to know who they're looking at. Immediately, I would have called the police.
Exactly. I literally put, yeah, that's the moment you get off the phone, call someone else and leave.
Yeah.
Like literally, that's it. That's the moment.
This freaks her out, and all she does is hang up.
Yeah.
The phone rings
That's it.
again, and she picks it up
She
for some
picks up.
reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she tells them to stop calling her, but the caller tells her that if she hangs up on them again, they will gut her like a fish. And she doesn't hang up. I'm not feeding into your like freak out fantasy. Like I'm calling the cops
Yeah.
immediately.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She's scared at this point. Not scared enough, but she's scared.
Apparently.
But she really gets scared when the caller calls her Blondie. That at that moment,
That's the point.
I'm running. I don't know where I'm running, but I'm running.
I'm going there.
Yeah, and so she freaks out even more, and she finds even more doors that are unlocked. It starts to lock, like literally every single door in this house is unlocked.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is a house where every door practically is a glass door, which makes it even worse.
Yes. I don't know if you heard her because she kind of like went out, but she said glass door. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Like, Ugh. Mm.
Yeah. And so she hears the doorbell ring and she freaks out but never goes to the door. The phone
Finally,
ring
some sense.
the phone rings again and she answers it again. And the caller makes fun of how dumb she's being. Because she's
Which
like,
they're not wrong.
they're not wrong. She's like, I'm gonna leave or something like that. He's like, what what are you gonna say next? Like, you're going to run upstairs and hide in the closet. Like, he's just making fun of her. And I'm like, this
Yeah.
is so bad. And so the caller states that he knows who Steve is, her boyfriend, and to go look in the backyard. She goes outside, turns on the back light, sees her boyfriend Steve tied to a chair, and the caller states that they want to play a game for Steve's life. Uh,
why do why does everybody in a scary movie want to play a game?
I don't know. Maybe that's why I
What
don't
is
like
it?
games.
Yeah.
Maybe I watch too many horror movies, and that's why I don't like playing games.
Yeah, because literally everyone's like, let's play a game, or would you like to play a game? And people are like, sure.
Yeah. I mean, the only place where it's acceptable is Saw, because it's like the whole premise of the
That's the whole
movie.
point. Yeah. But any other, it's like,
It's like, no,
no,
I'm not playing a game with you.
I'm not playing a game with you.
And so the game is that she will be asked questions, and if she gets them right, Steve lives. The category is movie trivia, and the caller gives her a test question, which is, who is the killer in Halloween? After freaking out for some time, Casey finally answers it correctly with Michael Myers. And then the real question comes, and it's, who was the killer in Friday the 13th? And she states Jason. This is wrong. I will not spoil the movie for you if you've never seen it,
Yeah.
but she's wrong.
She is wrong.
She's very wrong. It's like she's never seen the movie.
Right.
Even
And
though,
she said she's a fan of horror
yeah,
movies.
she's like, I've seen that movie 20 times. I'm like, how did you get
How
it
did you
wrong then?
not? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so Steve has his insides carved out, which, ew.
Yeah, not a good picture.
Also, that must have been very painful
Yeah.
to be sitting in a chair in like an upright position, and then someone is behind you carving your
Carving
outsides out.
out. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-mm. Not for it.
No, it's not a vibe.
It really isn't.
And so the killer then gives her one last question for her life. And it's, what door am I at? Which is not movie trivia.
It isn't. Technically, he broke the rules.
He broke the rules.
So technically, what happened to her shouldn't have happened.
No. And she's really dumb because she refuses to answer this question, even though she knows Steve just got cut up in the back.
Yeah, like they're not playing around.
I'm like, you obviously, first of all, I'm like, you have to answer this question. They're going to kill you. Second of all, you know where they are. They just killed Steve at this door.
Right. They're at the back door.
They're at the back door. Yeah, well, she refuses to answer, and then the killer throws a chair through the back door because that's where they were.
Ooh, no way.
And the door is made out of glass, so locking it didn't even make any sense.
Mm-mm.
Casey runs to the kitchen, which is now partly on fire because of the popcorn, and she grabs a knife. She still hasn't called 911.
She hasn't.
No.
Yeah, she's staying on the phone with this person.
Yeah. She sneaks out of the side door and hides, and sees a person in a mask and a cloak in her house, still clutching the phone, but not calling 911.
Yeah. Also, can I just say, when the mask popped up, all I could hear in my head was, "What's up? Yo, 2K, pick up the phone." Literally, that was the only thing going on in my head, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
Did you not know that movie was making fun of this movie?
I've never seen Scream before.
Oh, okay.
Jordan, I don't watch scary movies.
Why not? They're so good. Yeah, and so Casey also sees a car coming towards her house and decides to make a run for it. when she looks into a window and the killer is staring back at her. The killer breaks the window and grabs her, but she's able to get away. She starts running past her pool, and the killer throws himself through a window and catches up to Casey.
Why he had to jump through the door?
I don't know. I
He
really don't know.
he literally could have unlocked it.
Yeah. Yeah, and so Casey gets stabbed in the shoulder.
I'm not sure because it looked like it hit her in the chest.
Yeah, but then also the blood stain was higher. So I
It
don't
was
know.
higher. It's somewhere in the shoulder chest area.
That wound doesn't matter because she's stabbed again in the throat, but is able to kick the killer off of her. She notices that the people in the car are her parents, and she stumbles towards them as they walk into the house, but she can't speak, and the killer catches up to her.
That was so terrible. She was literally standing there like, I'm like, no.
Like, throw something,
no.
tap something,
Right,
walk a little
fall
faster.
down, make some noise, right.
And so Casey's parents walk through the house and they freak out because there's a mess. There's a fire in the kitchen. The windows are all broken. And Casey's mother picks up the phone to call 911 and can hear Casey on the line groaning for her and being dragged somewhere by the killer before the line hangs up. The parents then walk outside to see a mutilated Casey hanging from a tree.
That was it. That was it. I was like, oh, no.
But if you've never seen this movie, that's really the only disgusting part, really.
Yeah, the rest of it, not too bad.
And so we cut to sometime later that night, maybe. Yeah, it has to be. It has to be. And Sydney Prescott is on her phone at home when she hears, no, she's on her computer. I'm dumb. What did I write?
Yeah, she is.
When she hears something at her window, she goes to investigate when her boyfriend, Billy, comes out and scares her. This call
literally when he jumped through the window, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's Jughead's dad.
Yeah, and so he scares her, so this causes her to scream. And her dad comes to the door. Billy hides, and her dad tells her that his flight leaves first thing in the morning, and he'll be back from his expo on Sunday. When he leaves, Billy tells Sydney that he came because he was watching The Exorcist and it made him think of her.
Yeah, I did not understand that.
There is an explanation. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah.
Because it was edited for TV, so all the good stuff was missing. There's more. And how
it gets worse.
How when they first started dating, they were all R-rated, headed towards NC-17. And then things started to change, and now they are edited for television. Weird analogy. Very weird.
Yeah, I see it, but at the same time, I don't. Like, why? You could have just said what you wanted to say.
Yeah.
You know?
And so she feels bad. So she agrees to do on top of clothes stuff, whatever that means.
Whatever that means.
Which all they were doing was kissing. And they begin to make out, but when Billy tries to put his hand up her shorts, was she wearing shorts? What was she wearing?
Yes?
Sure.
Question mark? I could not tell.
She makes him leave. Before he leaves, he states that he doesn't want to rush her, even though he was kind of rushing her.
He was clearly rushing her.
And they kiss goodbye before she flashes him her boobs.
Oh my God. She's like, she uses the analogy again and is like, maybe we can be PG-13.
PG-13. Which, can you show boob?
Gross. Get that shit out of here.
Can you show boob in PG-13 movies?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I don't think so.
I
don't know.
Yeah, don't think so. So the next day at school, they're tons of cops and reporters, and Sydney learns from her best friend Tatum that Casey and Steve were brutally murdered.
Paige.
And I'm currently watching Charmed.
Ah!
No one knows who did it, and her brother, Deputy Sheriff Dewey Riley, told her that it was the worst crime they've seen in years and that everyone in school is being investigated. Which, that's weird, but okay.
Yeah, I guess.
Sydney gets called to speak with the police, and after all of her friends talk about their interviews, when Tatum's boyfriend Stu says that the killer couldn't have been a girl, and this upsets Tatum.
Equality, bro.
She's like, what do you mean it couldn't have been a girl? Which, honestly, it couldn't have been.
Yeah.
Yeah, in this crime, no.
No.
I don't think a girl in this town would have been able to lift Casey up into a tree or
no.
or throw herself very hardly through glass windows. I don't think so.
Yeah.
And so Sydney is traumatized and asks a rhetorical question about how anyone could gut someone, and then Stu goes into great detail about how you could. Red flag.
Automatic red flag.
Red flag. And so it's such a red flag to Sydney that she brings up the fact that he used to date Casey.
Mm-hmm.
And then Randy, another one of Sydney's friends, asks if the police know that he used to date Casey. And Stu gets that. And then Tatum states that he was with her last night. And then so they asked where Randy was, and he was like, I was working at the video store. This whole conversation just upsets Sydney, so she just leaves.
Yeah.
Because they're talking about a murder so very nonchalantly. It's very weird.
Yeah, it's not even as a coping mechanism at that point. It's just gross curiosity.
Gross curiosity. When Sydney gets home, she has a very beautiful home, by the way.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Very great view. A very California home.
Yeah.
After some time, she feels weird being home alone, and she calls Tatum to pick her up after her practice. What practice? We'll never know.
We'll never know. Just practice.
Just practice. Sydney begins to pack and starts watching TV when she comes across reporter Gale Weathers speaking about her mother's murder and turns off the TV.
Monica.
Sydney falls asleep and wakes when her phone rings. It's Tatum calling, saying that she's running late and that she's going to stop by the video store first.
Why couldn't they both go to the video store?
I don't know. There's a killer on the loose, and she's like, yeah, another 30 minutes. You'll be fine.
she's already late and is all like unapologetic about it. And then it's like, oh yeah, I got to make one stop too.
20-minute stops.
Yeah.
Sydney then gets a call from the killer, and they ask if she likes scary movies. And she thinks at first it's Randy, which happens a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, well.
Which speaks a lot about Randy's character.
Yeah. I don't know why she's still with him if he does this random stuff like that. That's...
No, Billy's her boyfriend. Randy is the guy.
Oh, yeah, true. But, like, that's weird for, like, your friend to call you like that and do weird little role play. Oh, I'm going to kill you. What's your favorite movie? That just seems weird to me.
It's not normal.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, so she thinks it's Randy at first, but when the killer finally says that they aren't Randy, she's like, okay, who are you then? The caller then states that they're on her front porch, and she goes outside to look.
I love how she's like, bet. I'm gonna go check.
Yeah, she's like, okay. No weapon, no nothing, just walks outside.
Right, totally unlocks the door, leaves it open, goes to check.
Yeah, she sees nothing, and so she starts picking her nose and asks the caller to chill. her what she's doing. And when they don't say anything, she's going to hang up, but the caller asks if she wants to die like her mother. Wow. Uh, this freaks her out, so she goes inside. Then the killer jumps out of a closet and attacks her, but she gets away. She tries to go to the front door, but the deadbolt is on, so she runs upstairs to her room and locks the door.
I love how she never even attempts to get the deadbolt off.
No, she was like wiggled it twice and then just ran upstairs.
Right.
Didn't even try to go out the back door.
Mm-mm.
And didn't she also make fun of girls who go upstairs with killer?
Yes.
And then she did the exact same thing. She
Like, are you sure this isn't Scary Movie?
It's a scary movie. And then unlike Casey, she tries to call the police, but the phone is dead. So she goes to the computer and emails them.
Yeah, I don't understand what that was. Was that like a chat line for
I
911?
guess, but then here's my gripe. So in the 90s, if you had a computer, it was hooked up to your telephone. So how is she able to send an email but not able to make a call?
Like the phone
I
line
mean,
needed to not be busy.
I only had to do this for a little bit, but I remember having to unplug the phone to plug in the computer. Like
Mhm.
I know how it goes.
Yep.
I had a little bit of time before Wi-Fi.
Yeah, we had some time before. Well, actually, we had a lot of time before Wi-Fi.
Not a lot of time of actively like, using the computer, but like
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. We know the struggle a little bit.
yeah, we know the struggle. Um, and then she looks back and the killer is gone. Just gone. Like they were
Yeah,
trying to
it's just
bust through the
vanished.
door and they're just gone. Right before Billy comes through her window and she hugs him. And
Hmm.
then a phone falls out of his pocket
Hmm.
and she freaks out and runs out of the house. And when she gets to the front door, Dewey is standing there with the killer's mask in his hands, just pointed towards the door.
Yeah, no. Not a
Yeah,
great
no,
cop.
not at
Not a
all,
great cop.
for multiple reasons, but we'll
Yeah.
get to them as we get to them.
Yeah.
Uh, Dewey and the other police officers then grab Billy and arrest him, even though he swears he isn't the killer. Tatum finally gets there,
Yeah, it's been more
and
than
she
20 minutes at
apologizes
this
to Sydney
point.
for being late.
Girl.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
a lot has happened since that phone call. And she tells Dewey that she's staying home with them. Sydney gets taken away in a police car right before Gale arrives and tries to question Tatum, but she refuses to speak to her.
Can I just say, I love that they got the brother-sister dynamic correct.
Yeah,
Because like
they
most movies, it's either like I hate you so much, which is it could be realistic for some people, or it's like very like, hey big bro, I need some
yeah,
help. And
we're
like,
best friends.
yeah, we're best friends forever. And like this one makes it so funny because like when Tate says that what's her name is gonna stay over, he's like, does mom know?
Does mom
Does
know?
mom know? And she's like, what? Yeah, duh. Like we're
Yes.
gonna go home now. Like it's so funny. I love that that's actually correct.
Yeah. Ooh, what does this say? Ooh, I can't read.
Ooh.
There we go. At the police station, Dewey tries to get a hold of Sydney's dad, but he can't be found. And Billy is being questioned by the sheriff and swears to his dad and the sheriff that he's innocent.
I love that.
Gail, yeah,
Sorry. They can't find the dad, and that's not really concerning.
yeah, they're like, we'll find him eventually.
Yeah, they're like,
He's
where's your dad staying? Oh yeah, they're saying that he's not there
he's
yet.
not here.
Like he's not staying there. And she's
Yeah,
just all like, oh, okay. And then he's like, are you sure it's not somewhere else? And she's like, no. And he's like, okay. And that's it.
okay,
And it's
we'll
never
find
brought
we'll
up
find him
again.
eventually.
It's never
Nope.
brought up again. Like someone needs, if you only had one parent left, I'm sure you would have been like, oh my God, where's my dad?
Right,
He's
where's my
missing.
father?
Like,
Give me my
bruh.
father right now.
Mm-hmm.
So Gail arrives at the police station and she tries to walk inside for some reason. She just thinks she could just walk into the police station with
Right.
a camera.
She's literally like, I'm built different, and just like makes her way
Yeah,
through the crowd, and then they're
push
immediately
through
like,
everybody.
and when she gets to the front door, they're like, no.
And she's shocked that they won't let her in.
Right. Like, girl, that might have worked somewhere else, maybe, but
Yeah.
no, it's not working today.
And then inside the police station, Tatum is comforting Sydney while Dewey tells the sheriff that the costume that the killer wears, it's sold in many state stores. Wow. And
Which
it's
is also
impossible,
true.
which is also true, but that's not what he said. It's sold in many stores and it's impossible to track. And I'm just thinking, just me,
Yeah.
just me. Just go to all the stores within a 50-mile radius and see if any of them were
Right.
sold to Billy.
Right.
Like, that's not hard.
Right. Because I don't know what time of year this is, but who's buying a Halloween costume like in the
Yeah,
middle of summer or something?
yeah, that would be something memorable.
Yeah.
I feel like the store clerk would remember.
Yeah, because you want to ask questions. You want to be like, oh, what are you buying this for? Or you would have been like, oh, that's kind of strange. You're buying a Halloween costume in June or something.
Maybe I'm built different. But if I was
Yeah.
working at my store and someone was buying a suspicious thing, I
Yeah.
would I would remember that.
Yeah, like an out of season thing. You would have been
Yeah.
like, oh, that's kind of strange.
That, yeah, that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Why are you buying this Christmas tree in February?
Right.
That's
Like,
weird.
no one has more than two brain cells in this movie.
No, not at all. Um, and also, he says that Billy's phone records won't be ready until the morning. But then he also brings up a fact that just gets glossed over later. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
Yo,
Uh,
yeah.
Tatum then embarrasses Dewey in front of the whole sheriff's station and demands that they get to leave. And so the sheriff is just like, "You can go out through the back."
I
He's
love
like,
how
"That."
I love how he's like, Mom said when I put this badge on, I'm a police officer. When I put
You
this
have to
on, I'm
teach. You have to treat me as a worker of the
of the
law.
law. It just kills me. What a little sister thing to do, though, can I just say?
Yeah, and so what a little sister. Yes, I have one. Trust me. And so
And
Gale
I
goes
am
to the
one.
back door. And so Gail goes to the back door and she sees that Sydney is leaving and starts peppering her with questions. And Sydney sarcastically asks Gail, "How's your book going?" And Gail answers it like she's asking her a genuine question. She's like, "Oh, it's going good. It'll be out this November. I'll send you a copy." And then Sydney punches her,
As she should.
as she should. While at Tatum's house, which Tatum has two twin beds in her room for some reason.
Yeah, it makes it seem like she had a sister and they shared a room,
Yeah,
but it's only her and
it's only her and Dewey.
Dewey.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah.
And Sydney gets a call from the killer who states that Billy isn't the killer and that he's coming for her. And the next day, Sydney is all over the news, and we learn that Sydney's mother's killer, Cotton Weary, is currently waiting appeal for his death sentence and that she was the key witness in the case. Dewey also tells Sydney that morning that Billy was released because he never made the phone calls from his cell phone and that every cell phone in the county is being cross-referenced to see who called both Sydney and Casey.
Can they do that?
I have no idea, but I do have this thing to say. I don't know if it's just where I live, but like I can be in a new county in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
They need to widen the
Widen the
area they're
search.
looking at.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because like they could live in a very large county, like Los Angeles County is a very large county,
Yeah.
but if they were like here and they were like, I'm gonna go look at Contra Costa County, on only Contra Costa County, and I'm like, there's like 3 counties that are within 20
Yeah,
minutes of Contra
right.
Costa County.
Like we are smushed out here. Like,
Yeah, we're pushed together
yeah, you
tight.
you drive 15, 30 minutes depending on where you are situated in your county and be in another county.
Some towns, if you go from one house to another, you're in a different county.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they please widen the area you're looking at.
Right. Also, I don't know if it was like a no like I don't know, a common thing to have a cell phone, a cellular phone as they say in this movie. How common it was in their town or whatever. Because then you could have just kept it to cellular phones and not house phones. Because you clearly
It
know
had
that they're
to it had
making
it had to be cell phones because
yeah,
they're like
but
inside these people's houses
yeah.
calling them. So
Yeah,
like
so
it had
that
to be cell phones.
yeah, so you can limit your search just to those and depending on how many people
Yeah,
have them in your town, narrows the search down. Like,
it's a mess. It's a mess.
yeah.
And so Sydney and Tatum go to school that day for some reason.
Yeah,
And
everyone keeps
it,
going back to school.
like nothing has happened.
Yeah, they're all like,
And
yeah, we're fine. And all the teachers are like teaching still.
yeah,
Like
like
you're
nothing is
like two
happening.
students didn't just die and one almost did. Like
Yeah.
make it make sense.
Yeah. And so Sydney goes to Gale and she confronts her about writing a book about her mother's murder. Gale believes that Cotton is innocent, and the only reason he was put in jail was because of Sydney's statements in court and that he was framed. Sydney leaves, but she does apologize for punching Gale.
Did
I
she mean
wouldn't
it?
have. No, I wouldn't have even like fake apologized. I would have been like, nice eye, and just walked away.
Right. Or been like, I think you got something right here.
Yeah, I think you
Just,
got a little something right
yeah, a
there.
little something.
Gale then comes to the conclusion from this conversation that the current killer is the same person that killed Sydney's mother, and she's going to prove it to boost her book sales. How she came to this conclusion, I don't know.
Right, right. Or like it
It
could
made no
be
sense to me.
somebody clearly different.
Yeah,
Because it's common knowledge that her mother was murdered. It's
yeah.
not like it's only one or like a handful of people know. Everybody knows. It's been on
And it happened
TV.
a whole year ago.
Right.
Like, why would the killer, in my mind, I'd be like, why would the killer wait an entire year before they start killing again?
Maybe it's one of those, ooh, the anniversary. I gotta kill on the anniversary.
I gotta kill on the anniversary. Oh, that's it. There's
That's it.
something about this date that just makes me.
Yeah.
But they didn't even kill on the date.
Oh, true. They were like a day or two away.
Yeah. So whatever.
Whatever.
Uh, yeah. And so after some random guys start running around in the halls in the killer costume, Sydney begins to cry. And so while she's running away, she bumps into Billy and apologizes to him before he begins to gaslight her because she won't have sex with him.
Ugh, honestly, every interaction of theirs is
It's
just about
awful.
that. Yeah.
It's awful.
Yeah.
He states that she needs to get over the fact that her mother is dead because it's been a whole year, Kelly.
Yeah, it's been a whole year.
It's been
You
a
should have
whole
been over it 3 months, like 3 months after. That's what
yeah,
normal
get
people do.
over it.
Gross. And
Just
then
get
he
over
pulls
it.
the
It's
whole, my mom's gone. Like, bro.
right. His mom left.
Yeah.
She did not die.
Yeah, she
She
did
was
not
not
die.
brutally murdered.
Mm-mm. Right. Like
And so
homeboy is literally trying every tactic he can to get into her pants, and it's gross.
yeah. And it's getting worse. It's getting more desperate every time.
It really is. Gross.
And so we then cut to the principal's office, and the school's principal is in his office, rightfully so, expelling the boys who were running around wearing the costume of
Right.
a killer that killed 2 of their schoolmates and tried to kill another.
And they're so upset about it.
Yeah, they're like, what do you mean we're expelled? And then he goes into this long rant being like, 2 students were killed. It's a mess. Meanwhile, Sydney is in the bathroom where she hears a girl come up with this insane theory that Sydney is the killer and faked her attack because she wanted to start a new high school trend or something.
Yeah, I don't know. She said
I've
because
never understood it.
she literally was like, she's doing this just to get attention and blah blah blah. She's like, the only reason why she doesn't off herself is because it's so last season.
Yeah, it's not trendy anymore. And I'm like, whoa.
I'm like, excuse me? What is
Yeah, and
going
then
on
Sydney,
here?
Sydney just sits there and listens to this.
I thought eventually she would have come out
Yeah,
because I would have.
I would have I would have walked out and slapped the taste out of that girl's mouth.
Right. Like I'm not confrontational. I don't like conflict, but like I would have gone
But
out
in
there.
this instance,
Yeah,
yeah, in this
I would
instance,
have.
you have to do something.
Yeah. Also, this cheerleader looks like she's 35.
Oh, everyone in this movie looks old.
Yeah, they do.
Literally, in like 2 bullets, I'm going to tell you Dewey's age. This man looks 35. But we'll get
We'll
to
get
it.
there.
And so when the girls leave, Sydney hears someone whispering her name, and someone attacks her in the ghost face costume. So she runs out of the bathroom
Why she
crying.
didn't leave immediately
Right?
after
When I
hearing her
hear,
voice whispered.
if I was in the bathroom and I heard Jordan, best believe I'm gone.
Yeah, I'm out.
I'm on.
Yeah. She's a
I'm
runner, she's
leaving
a
the.
track star.
I'm not just leaving the bathroom. I'm leaving the building.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
no,
Yeah. I am not returning to school. Mm-mm.
no, not until we've had a full investigation.
Exactly.
And so outside the school, Gale cuddles up to Dewey. Here we go. Who states he's 25. I'm 24.
Yeah.
This man is not 25.
He is not.
There is no way he's 25.
Yeah, if he's 25, then I am 17.
Yeah.
I am 17 years old.
Right? I'm 10.
Right.
I'm 10 years old if he's 25.
Yeah, no.
This man looks like he has 3 children.
Mm-hmm.
He looks old.
Yeah.
And then so while she's flirting with him, the principal cancels all of the classes and states that there is a citywide curfew that begins at 9, which is kind of late for a curfew to me.
Yeah.
But by 9 o'clock, it is pitch dark.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, depending on what season it is, but still.
Even if it's summer at 9 o'clock, it's late. Like, the sun is down.
They should have done 8.
I'm thinking 6.
Okay.
I was thinking 6.
That's fair. Sun is still
but
up.
Yeah, they go.
Get home before
They go
then.
with this.
Yeah.
But okay. As Tatum and Sydney are leaving, Stu invites them over to his house for a party before we cut to the principal's office, and someone is knocking on his door. But when he goes to open it, there's no one there. And so he searches around the office for who's doing it, but finds no one. So he goes back into his office, and when he closes his door, the killer jumps out and kills them. Because he checked everywhere but behind his door.
Yeah.
Stu goes to the movie rental store and invites Randy to his party. And Randy states that Billy is the killer. He's like, look at him. He's a killer.
Zero hesitation. He has a theory and he's sticking with it.
And then Stu thinks it's Sydney's father. He's like, what about Sydney's father? Nobody knows where he is. How does he know that? Randy has been yelling everything he's been saying. And so Billy goes up to him and is like, how do I know you're not the killer? Randy's justification for him not being the killer is, it's too obvious. Sir, if someone said that to me, I'm making a citizen's arrest.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay.
Right, this is
anyone
how
have any
going.
zip ties?
Right. Anybody?
And so the town begins to shut down in preparation for the curfew. And Dewey drops the girls off to buy snacks for Stu's party because like he's letting them go for some reason.
Yeah, like I don't understand that.
Well, he goes to the police station and the sheriff tells him that the phone calls were traced to Sydney's father. And then Dewey brings up a great point. He's like, could someone have bounced his phone calls from their phone? Like, what did they call it? Copy?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah. But then the sheriff just like doesn't even acknowledge it at all.
Yeah, dismisses it immediately.
Immediately. He's like, no, I think it's Sydney's father. We're coming up on the anniversary of his wife's murder. I think it's him.
Gross.
And
Terrible
so
police
he
work.
terrible. And so he Jordan
Ooh.
entrust. Sorry. He entrusts Dewey to watch Sydney to keep her safe. And so Dewey drops the girls off at Stu's house and Gale follows them. Gale does not have anything else to do in her life, I swear.
She really doesn't. I mean, I guess it's a small town and not a lot happens, so this is the biggest story she's probably had in a year.
But like day and night, she is in that news band.
Yeah.
Does her job not be like, hey, you have way too much overtime.
Right. Right.
You have way too much. Go home.
I wonder if they've copped her for it and they're like, we're not going to, if you go over this amount, we're not going to pay you. And she's like, that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Um, I
have
guess.
a book to promote.
I have a book to promote. I'm here for the news and the justice. I'm going to report it no matter what.
Like, okay, but like sign this paper saying that we're not paying you.
Right. That's great, honey. But like if you go over 20 hours of overtime, yeah, no, we're not going to deal with that.
We're not paying for it.
Yeah. Hope that's okay.
And so yeah, Dewey sees Gale and asks her if she wants to go inside the party. No, he says he's going to go inside the party to make sure everything is safe. And then she asks if she can go. And so she brings a camera with her because Gale always needs a camera.
She always needs a camera. She's always here for the news, guys.
Yeah. And so inside the party, Randy is trying to get everyone to watch a scary movie when the doorbell rings. So Stu goes to get it and he asks Tatum to go get some more beer.
I love how she complains about it and then does it.
She's like, what do I look like, a wench? And then immediately gets up and goes to get the beer.
Like, she sat there for like 2 seconds and then was like, yeah, I'm going to go get the beer.
You're such a feminist, Tatum.
Ooh.
You're so...
We love strong women.
We love strong women who stand up for what they believe in.
Mm-hmm.
And so Stu answers the door and it's Dewey and Gale. They check out the party and Gale sneaks her camera into the house. Did they even check out the party?
No.
Because Dewey came in, saw people underage drinking, let them underage drink.
Yes.
And then left.
No. And I love how he's like, yeah, I'm going to watch the party. Leaves the party.
Leaves the party. And then he's like, don't drive, but everyone is drinking. Literally everyone is drinking.
They're like, you can't drink. And then he's like, hands it back. Just don't drive. And I'm like,
just don't drive. I'm like, can you make sure that like there's at least some designated drivers here?
Yeah.
Because it looks to me like everyone has a beer in their hand.
Right.
Yep. So meanwhile, Tatum goes to the garage to get more beer. And she gets scared when a cat knocks over lawn equipment. When she tries to open the door back into the house, it's locked. So she opens the garage door to go out when the killer comes in and closes it. Tatum thinks the killer is Randy. Again, here we go. Randy should not be your friend if you think that he would do shit like this.
Yeah, that's just weird.
That's weird. And so since she thinks it's Randy, she begins taunting him. But when he pulls out a knife and cuts her, she finally realizes that it's real and begins running and fighting. Why she didn't grab some of that lawn equipment, I don't know.
Right. Like she literally could have grabbed that rake and just messed him up. Or a
Yeah,
shovel.
something.
Something.
But all she does is throw beers at him.
And it
Um,
works, by the
it
way.
works somehow.
Yeah, I don't know how, but it does.
Tatum then goes to and does one of the dumbest things I've ever seen in a horror movie in my entire life.
Yeah.
And she tries to escape through a cat door, not a dog
A
door,
dog,
a
it's a
cat
cat
door.
door.
And she obviously gets
Gets
stuck.
stuck. The dumbest death in this movie so far, I'm gonna
Yeah.
say.
The killer then starts the garage door and she gets crushed to death.
Yeah.
I just want to know how, because they don't hold weight.
Yeah, they don't.
They don't. I broke my aunt's garage door once and I weighed like 80 pounds. So there's
Yeah,
no way.
the only thing they're supposed to be lifting is the garage door.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Which is like
Any added
20
weight.
pounds.
Yeah, any added weight and then it immediately just stops.
Yeah. Also, why didn't she try to like roll under it?
Right.
I don't know about like 90s garage doors, but the one at my aunt's house, if you roll under it while it's going down, it'll start going back up.
Yeah,
Like there's
well,
like a sensor.
yeah, mine's even different. Like if there's even anything in like a couple of inches inside the garage that's near the garage door, it won't close. So I'm
Yeah,
sure if she
see,
just stood there, it would have
put her
opened.
foot under it,
Yeah.
it would have opened. Yeah.
And this house was
And
built in the
so,
90s. That we have not changed that
yeah.
garage door. Like,
Oh, yeah. So there's really no excuse.
there really isn't.
And so let's go back to the party because Billy has come now. And Stu, not so subtly, has Billy and Sydney go up to his parents' room so that they can talk. Meanwhile, Gale makes it back to her van and she set up the camera perfectly, but she finds out that it has a 30-second delay. It does. It's going to come into play later. We go back to Billy and Sydney, and they apologize to each other. And she states that she does need to get over her mom's death because it's holding her back or whatever. And that she believes that her mom may have actually been having an affair with Cotton, like everyone in town thought, right before the two have sex.
Yep, and Billy is getting what he wants.
Yeah.
Because of
just
course.
like a man.
Disgusting.
Downstairs, all the party goers are watching Halloween. And here's the thing. They're at the end of Halloween, and then by the end of this movie, they're still at the end of Halloween.
Yeah. This movie never ends.
This movie never ends. It's like like the last 20 minutes of the movie are in a loop.
Constant loop, yeah.
Yeah, and so Randy tells everyone the rules of how to survive a horror movie. Never have sex, never drink or do drugs, never say I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Which honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Gale and her videographer, what's his name? Kenny, they're watching all of this when Dewey comes by and invites Gale to go check out a car in the woods with him. Someone reported a car in the woods for some reason.
Yeah.
How they found that car in the woods, who knows?
Yeah.
People begin to leave Stu's house, and one person asks Stu where Tatum went, and he states she probably got pissed and left. One, didn't he go get more beer, so wouldn't he have seen her hanging from the garage door? And two, why would he leave without Sydney?
Yeah.
But mostly one.
Yeah.
Mostly one.
That's the biggest question there.
Yeah. Randy and a couple of people are still watching Halloween when the phone rings and someone tells him that the principal was murdered and is hanging on the football field's goalpost.
Eesh.
So a bunch of little psychos decide to get up and go see it while he's still hanging.
Yeah, I did not understand that.
I didn't either.
Y'all are
I was like,
weirdos.
you guys are sick. This
Yeah.
entire town is sick.
Yeah, because y'all's first reaction to hearing that your principal is dead is, oh my gosh, let's go check out the body.
Yeah, that's weird.
No. No.
Yeah. Randy's the only person who doesn't go. He stays.
Yeah, which good for
He stays.
him.
He stays cuddled up watching the same 10 minutes of Halloween with his beer. Meanwhile, Gale and Dewey are walking when they almost get run over by the high schoolers, and they roll off the road before kissing. And then Gale notices that the car they're looking for is right next to them. And Dewey states that it's Sydney's dad's car. And so they freak out and run back towards the house. Back at the house, they're getting dressed, and Sydney asks Billy who he called when he was in jail. You know, just she was like jokingly like, so like, who was your first phone, your one phone call in jail?
Right.
And he states his dad. But this like brings up flags for Sydney. She's like, your dad was called by the sheriff. Like, I saw the sheriff call your dad. He was like, well, I tried to call him and he didn't answer, but he answered when the sheriff called. I'm like, okay.
Right. Like
Billy.
when you call from jail, there's a little message that plays before, like if you leave a message, there's a message that plays from the police station that's like, hey, you're getting a call from this person that is currently in jail here.
Yeah.
And then it plays the message from said person. Like that's how that works. So
well,
if you did leave a message,
I don't talk to criminals.
Actually, we accidentally, when we had a house phone, we got a call from somebody in jail, and we let it go because we didn't recognize the number. And when we listened to it back, it's a guy asking like a specific person to come pick them up or whatever, or call somebody else so that they can get help and get out of jail. And it was for the previous owners.
Oh no.
And so
that person never got out of jail.
I remember hearing it and being like, oh my gosh, she's in jail. and then like I heard the name, I'm like, I don't know that name. And I'm like, Mom, do you know this person? She's like, absolutely not. So like if his dad did get the message, he should have been able to call back.
Yeah. It didn't make sense.
Yeah,
it didn't make sense.
No.
And so Billy asks her if she thinks that he is still the killer. And she's like, no, but I just thought it would be very clever if you used your one phone call to call me in jail so that I wouldn't suspect you. And then Billy starts acting really weird. Like really weird.
Very weird.
But then the killer comes in and stabs Billy. Sydney runs out and is chased around upstairs and escapes out a window. But she is grabbed by the killer and falls off the roof of the house onto a boat and sees Tatum hanging from the garage door. So she's still hanging from the garage door. She's still hanging from the
garage door. I felt bad for her.
Meanwhile, Randy is plastered, still watching Halloween.
What a vibe.
Still at the part where she's in the closet.
Yeah.
Still. Like, I swear they showed that part of the movie 3 times in this movie.
Yeah.
And the killer is behind him and is going to kill him, but leaves when he hears Sydney screaming outside.
Mm-hmm.
Sydney runs out to Gale's news van. And her and Kenny watch Gale's camera and see the killer behind Randy before he remembers that there's a 30-second delay, and he goes out of the van and has his throat slit.
Why would you leave the van?
I don't know. But you know what makes even less sense?
What?
Here we go. So, Sydney gets stabbed in the shoulder and she slams the door closed, but somehow the killer is able to put their hand through like a little hole or something to like unlock the door.
Yeah.
It didn't make sense to me
It doesn't make sense at all,
at
to
all.
be fair.
And so
Because you see her
while
slam the door and
yeah,
it closes.
it
But then
closes.
his hand is like snaking in, and I'm like, ugh.
He turned into Mr. Fantastic and just
He really did.
squeezed his hand in there. And then so Sydney makes it out of the back of the van. Dewey and Gale come back, and Dewey goes into the house while he sends Gale to her van to call the police because she has a cellular phone.
Cellular phone.
Cellular phone.
Whoa.
She tries to call 911, but when Randy pops out, she freaks out. And so she like punches him with the phone twice.
Yeah, which, that's a fair response.
Yeah. And then she tries to drive away, but Kenny's body falls off the top of the van and she crashes when Sydney walks out into the street.
Yeah. Not good.
And so Sydney just walks back to the house and Dewey walks out, but collapses because he's been stabbed. And the killer runs after her, but she jumps into Dewey's car and locks all the doors. The killer has the car keys, though, and plays a game of cat and mouse, opening all the doors.
Don't they make fun of the scene in Scary Movie?
Yes.
Okay, I remember that. I remember that.
Yeah, and then the killer, like, quietly somehow opens the trunk of the car and sneaks into the car.
Yeah, I don't know how he did that.
I don't either.
I feel like you would hear the key going into the lock and it turning.
Yeah. And then Sydney is able to put a distress call over the police radio station, something Dewey should have done.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, before being attacked. But she narrowly makes it out of the car.
Yeah, just barely.
Just barely. Sydney runs back towards the house when Randy and Stu come towards her, both telling her not to trust the other. She grabs Dewey's gun and locks them both outside of the house. Good for you.
Good for her.
I would have done the same. If not, shot both of them.
Right.
Just in case.
Right. If I shot you and you're innocent, oops, you'll get over it.
Right.
If you are the killer, I'm safe.
I'm safe. After she gets inside, Billy comes out and falls down the stairs and asks Sydney to give him the gun, and she does for some reason.
Right. Like you thought you had suspicions about him, and now they're just gone because, oh my gosh.
Because you think you saw him get stabbed.
Right.
Also, did she not notice that the blood on his shirt like dried very quickly?
Right. Also, a man who got stabbed multiple times like that wouldn't be moving like that.
No.
And would not have survived falling down a flight of stairs.
No.
Absolutely not.
But I'm still caught on the fact that the shirt on his blood is dry, even though he should still be actively bleeding.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's just me. I'm a little bit more perceptive than most people, but yeah. And so Billy opens the front door and lets Randy inside, but immediately shoots him and reveals that he was never stabbed and it's just covered in corn syrup. What's her name? Sydney. Sorry. Sydney tries to run, but runs into Stu, who pulls out a vocal modulator and reveals that he's been working with Billy. Shocker. The two creepiest people are the killers.
Also, it's really creepy how, like, when he explains the fake blood and they just attribute it to, like, different movies.
Yeah. He's like, just like they used in Carrie.
Yeah, like
who cares in this moment?
Right. At this point, I don't really care.
I don't care about Carrie. And so they reveal that they killed her mother and framed Cotton because Sydney's mother slept with Billy's father.
and that's why Billy's mother left his family.
Yeah, and that
That's
seems more like his dad
your
problem.
thought. Yeah, that's a your dad
Yeah,
problem,
that's not a you problem.
and that really has nothing to do with Sydney.
It really doesn't.
Really, nothing to do with Sydney. They also revealed that they are going to frame Sydney's father as the killer, with them being the lone survivors after they kill Sydney and make his death look like a suicide. We then watch them stab each other multiple times.
Yeah, it's very strange.
Like they're stabbing each other very hard, and they're like, "Don't go too deep." And I'm like, "You're stabbing each other way too hard."
Right. And
But
Stu is laughing, by the way,
yeah,
like
Stu is
like a maniac.
Stu is. I know we should be using the term crazy, but Stu is crazy.
Yeah, there's something going
We,
on there.
we later learn he doesn't even have a motive.
Yeah, he's
He's
just
just
there
doing
for the
this.
ride. Yeah.
Stu is certifiably crazy.
Hmm.
Like it's a mess. And so after they're done stabbing each other, which by the way, Billy stabs Stu way too many times.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
stabbed him like 5 times.
Yeah, and Billy gets stabbed like twice.
Twice? Yeah, twice. Yeah, and so when Stu goes to get the gun to shoot Sydney's father, it's gone. And Gale walks out and holds them at gunpoint. But she had the safety on,
Yeah.
so Billy knocks her out.
How she ever got the gun, I will never know.
I don't know either.
Because she would have been seen by Billy.
Yeah, Billy was facing Stu, so I
Yeah.
don't know how she got the gun. Yeah, and so Billy picks up the gun and goes to shoot her when Stu realizes that Sydney is gone because they just aren't paying attention to anything apparently.
No, they're
But
not.
somehow they've been able to get away with all these murders.
Yeah.
Uh, Sydney calls them with the voice modulator and tells them that she called the police,
Good
which
for
it's only
her.
been like 10 seconds. How does she call the police that fast?
Right.
While Stu falls over because he was stabbed too many times and is losing a lot of blood. He then picks up the phone, and here we are. When Sydney asks what his motive is, because like Billy's doing it because his family
dad,
was
yeah.
ripped apart.
Yeah.
Stu says he did it because of peer pressure. Like I said, he's insane.
Yeah. There was no peer pressure involved.
No.
Billy probably just mentioned it.
Yeah.
And Stu
On
was just
accident.
like,
He probably accidentally mentioned it, and Stu was like,
yeah.
"Oh, that sounds like fun."
Yeah, or it's one of those, like theoretically, if I were to get revenge, I would do all of this. And Stu's like, why not do it for real? Like,
right?
are you
Let's
joking?
do it.
Let's
That sounds
do
like a
it.
good plan. That sounds reasonable.
Right. Mm-mm.
Yeah, your father cheated, so you should kill his mistress. That makes so much sense.
Right, and then we'll kill her daughter.
Yeah, we'll kill the whole family.
Yeah, why not?
Why not? And so Billy goes crazy after learning that Sydney called the police and starts just stabbing random things
Yeah.
and yelling. And Stu just starts crying because his parents are going to be mad at him.
Yeah, that's the only show of remorse. If
Yeah,
that is
he's like,
actually remorse.
Yeah, he's like, it's not. He's like, my parents are going to be so mad at me. I'm like, yes, Stu, they are.
Yeah, they are.
They're going to be very upset with you.
Mm-hmm.
Not only are you a serial killer, but you've been killing people in their house.
Right.
Like, they're going to be mad. They're going to be very mad.
Yeah, that's the thing that's going to happen.
Yeah, just get over it.
Right.
And so Billy goes looking for Sydney and goes to look for her in a closet when she runs out and stabs him with an umbrella right before Stu comes out and tackles her.
How did she ever get enough force behind that umbrella to stab him like that?
That wasn't even the most ridiculous thing to me. The most ridiculous thing to me is, where did Stu get this random surge of energy to start fighting her?
Right.
Wasn't he just about to pass out 10 seconds ago?
Right. He's literally bleeding to death out in the kitchen.
Yeah.
but finds enough strength to tackle somebody down.
Yeah. And like once you start doing exercise, like your heart is pumping more, which means you're losing more
More
blood.
blood. Right.
It's a mess.
Yeah.
And so they fight, and he gets the upper hand for a second, but she puts a finger into like a wound hole. It's gross.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
And then she flips a very heavy 90s TV over his head, killing him.
Yes.
He gets electrocuted to death, which I would think his head would have just been smashed in.
Yeah, I was about to ask also if that was possible.
I don't think so. I
Yeah.
personally don't think
Yeah,
so.
I don't think so. Also, those TVs are heavy no matter what size they are.
Heavy. 90s TVs, heavy.
Yeah, because I had a 13-inch. Like my mom had a 13-inch in one of the rooms, and I remember moving it one time a couple years ago because we still had it for some reason. And that is heavy. And
They're so heavy.
That's a 13-inch.
When I was in the 8th grade, I believe, my mom got a big screen TV, and it was one of the old big screen. It weighed like 100 pounds.
Yeah. Because they're still fat on the backside.
Yeah. I don't know how they got it into the house. I really don't.
Yeah.
Because I was like, that thing is gigantic.
Yeah, they're gigantic and they're freaking heavy.
Yes. Thank goodness we have flat screens now.
Yeah, they're so much lighter. Oh my
Lord.
gosh.
So much lighter. I can carry a flat screen by myself. Thank God.
Right.
And so Sydney goes back to Billy's body, and Randy decides at this point to wake up. And he thanks his being alive for him being a virgin.
Like, okay.
Right before Billy wakes up and punches Randy. He then wrestles Sydney on the floor. Fine.
Yeah, fun, yes.
And he's shot by Gale right before he tries to stab Sydney.
Mm-hmm.
Really fun. Sydney helps Randy up and takes the gun away from Gale. She's like in shock or something.
Yeah.
And they walk over to Billy, and Randy states that this is the moment when the killer, who everyone suspects is dead, comes back to life. And he actually does.
Yeah.
And so Sydney shoots him in the head.
Yeah. And it's at this point that I'm like, this is just Scary Movie.
It's just Scary Movie, yes. The Scary Movie actually did not, with the first one, when they were making fun of this movie, they didn't exaggerate that much.
Yeah, they really didn't. Like, it's basically Scream with maybe a few more jokes.
A few more jokes. Or just like us, like pointing out the stuff that made no sense. Yeah.
Yeah, that's literally it.
Yeah, and then after Billy is shot, Sydney's dad burst out of a closet. How he got into a closet, who knows? Because he was in the kitchen earlier.
Yeah, and wasn't Gale in that closet with him?
No. Gale was on the front porch with Dewey.
Oh no. What's her name?
Sydney.
Wasn't she in that closet?
Yes.
Did she not notice her dad was in there?
But my whole thing is, how did he get in there?
That's true too. Did he like scramble away and like, I'm gonna be safe in this closet kind of deal, or what?
Maybe when Sydney like ran off, maybe she took her dad and put him in there.
In the closet with her, probably.
But like, how did he get locked in there? Because when she comes out and like the closet door is just open. Whatever. We're gonna skip this.
Yeah, we are.
We're at the end of the movie. It does not matter. The cops and the ambulance then arrive, and Sydney, Gale, Randy, and somehow Dewey have survived. And Gale is able to do a news report as a eyewitness.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the end of the movie.
That is the end of the movie. Yay!
So I have a lot of movie facts. Okay. So many movie facts. There were like 100, and I had to like pick from all of those.
Oh, geez, what the heck?
So, first one, the party scene near the end of the film runs for 42 minutes long. It was shot over the course of 21 days.
21.
Yes, from the time the sun set to the time it rose for 21 days they filmed.
Oh my gosh. That's a long time.
Yeah, after they wrapped that scene,
Uh-huh.
the crew made t-shirts that said "I survived scene 118."
I mean,
And
yeah,
the cast,
that's so long.
that's such a long time. And the cast and the crew jokingly called it the longest night in horror history.
I mean, at that point.
Movie fact number 2, at around 52 minutes in the film,
Mm-hmm.
when Henry Winkler, who plays the principal,
Mm-hmm.
opens the closet, his black leather Fonzie jacket from Happy Days is hanging in it.
Oh, that's cute. It's a cute little Easter egg.
This was a great fact. This next one, my favorite.
Okay.
My favorite, because I know where these places are, and just my favorite. The high school scenes were to be shot at Santa Rosa High School in California. Yes.
No
However,
way.
yeah, very close to the shooting date, the school board read the script and denied the film to be shot because they thought it was going to be a comedy and they didn't want to be associated with the violence of the movie.
Losers.
And so production was moved to Healdsburg, California.
Okay.
And as payback, director Wes Craven put in the end credits after the special thanks section, "No thanks whatsoever to the Santa Rosa City School District Governing Board."
Dang, what a savage.
I would have did that too. I would have been like, you messed up my shooting schedule.
Yeah, for real though.
I would have been pissed.
Yeah. Like, that's so petty. I love it. Good for them.
Number 4, the use of caller ID increased by 3-fold after this movie was released.
Of course it did. Of course it did.
Of course it did. The original title of this movie was Scary Movie, which was later used for the parody movie.
I'm so dead.
And they even mentioned Scary Movie in this movie 5 times. Yeah. Neve Campbell, who played Sydney, was going to say no to this movie, but because she does not like horror movies. But when hearing that her co-star Skeet Ulrich from The Craft was going to appear, she agreed.
Really?
Yeah, there's like 3 people from The Craft in this movie.
Oh my gosh.
And then last one.
Okay.
Stu's house, which is the location for the entire last third of the movie.
Yeah.
It's a house on Tomales Road, east of Tomales Bay, that had only recently become available after the death of its owners. We could go see this movie because I know where Tomales Bay is. Or
really?
we could see this house because I know where Tomales Bay is.
Okay.
I think I've been there before.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. But that's it for the movie facts. There were 500 more, but I just condensed it. So now it's time for the question, Kelly. Is this movie iconic?
You know what? I'm going to say yes.
Okay. Yes,
I'm going to say yes.
Yes.
Because even though there are a lot of things that are kind of wrong with this movie.
Yeah.
It spawned Scary Movie.
That's exactly what I put in mind.
And it's the beginning really good. It hooks you,
Yeah.
It's 0 to 100 real quick for the first 20 minutes. I don't know.
Yes, this movie is the pinnacle of a teen slasher film.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and I'm
great.
I'm down for it. I think it's a classic.
It is a classic. There's also 4 more.
Yeah,
you only need to see this one, the second one, and the 4th one. You don't need to see the 3rd one.
Is the 3rd one really bad?
It's bad. Don't watch
Ooh.
it.
Oh, okay.
It's really bad. But yeah, great film series.
Hmm.
They got some iconic people to be in this movie.
They did. They really
Like
did.
Drew Barrymore. Like, how much did that cost?
Right. Right. And like, sure, it would have been early in her career, but she made really iconic movies
I
early in
don't
her
even think this
career.
was early in her career, because like her first movie was E.T. So I think she was already a star
I'm gonna
when this
look.
movie came out.
I'm gonna look when this was like when in her career this was made. Because
But yeah,
she looks young enough that this was maybe like after like Never Been Kissed.
maybe. Also, can we talk about how much they have you seen like the posters for this movie?
I've only seen like one or two.
There's like one with like one woman, but then like with all like the group posters that has like everyone on it, she's
Hmm.
like in the front and she's only in this movie for like 15 minutes.
They really used her stardom to sell this movie, didn't they?
They really used her to sell this movie.
I'm dead.
But yeah, I also think this is an iconic movie. Just for the fact that it spawned Scary Movie alone
Okay,
is makes it iconic.
I'm still trying to find when this movie was made. 96?
I think it was like 96.
Yeah, I'm trying to find like a full list to see like what she did beforehand. Oh, geez.
She did a lot.
She did
Like
so many.
she was like
I'm
a
gonna
child actress.
I'm gonna count this out for you.
I can think of 2 movies right now that she did when she was just a child, like E.T. and Firestarter. Which, by the way, that movie is awful.
She did 20 movies before this came out.
Yeah, isn't she from like a famous acting family?
I don't
I feel
remember.
like she is.
Oh my gosh, she's in Babes in Toyland?
I have no idea what that is.
It's a Christmas movie. It's an animated
Never
Christmas
heard
movie.
of it. Never heard of it.
Bruh. Oh yeah, you don't watch older Christmas movies.
No.
Travesty, really. But yeah, dude, she was in so many things before that. Dude, what the? She's been in so many movies. Good for her.
Good for her, yes.
Good for her. Okay, sorry.
So, do you have any recommendations for this week?
Yes, I do. So, my recommendation for this week, my first one is a YouTuber called Trin Lovell.
Oh, I love her videos.
She is so funny.
She is funny.
Literally, whenever I watch her stuff, I'm literally just like talking like right back at her like I kind of do you when we review movies.
I just watched her Cinderella one.
Yes!
Cinderella video.
Oh my gosh, her with the runs.
Those were awful. Those runs were like, did they not have a producer in the studio?
Right.
They'd be like, hey, that run is not working.
Right. The one that like sticks out was the am I wrong?
Am I wrong?
Yo. And like honestly, they really did set up the rest of this cast for failure by putting Idina Menzel in there.
They did. Honestly, Camilla, we're gonna have to work on run placement. We really are.
Yeah. And then maybe cut them down a little bit.
Yeah.
Because we don't need to run every song.
Every 2 seconds?
In every 2 seconds. I feel like
you're not Brandy. You don't need to run every 2 seconds.
Yeah. And don't compare Brandy runs to
Camila
Cabello runs.
No. There's no comparing.
Yeah, there is no comparison. Because Brandy is better. I'm just gonna say that right now. Also, her when she does the or when she did the Glee best and worst rated episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Bruh. Sometimes because it's been a while since I've seen Glee. And then I'm like watching it, I'm like, the only things that really stand out to me are like the songs, not all the drama that actually went down, you know what I mean? I forget.
I just rewatched it like 2 years ago.
Oh really?
When I was sick. Yeah.
I think I haven't watched it since high school. I think I binged basically everything in senior year. Yeah, that was a lot. Okay. Second recommendation. Doesn't Really Matter by Janet Jackson.
Oh.
Yeah, so there's a backstory to this one. I was at Red Robin the other day, and I for the life of me, I couldn't remember the lyrics to the song. It was too loud, so I couldn't Shazam it. So I literally was like, Jordan, I need your help. So I literally sent him a clip of what you could barely hear in the restaurant. And he's all like,
you could barely hear it.
He's all like,
I could only hear the beat.
Yeah, and then maybe the little da, 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 like, and that's it because it's higher than what's going on like the rest of the song. And I'm like, that's the only thing that's sticking in my head. And like Shazam can't hear me, and Shazam can't hear the song. He's like, I think it's a Janet Jackson song. I think it's It doesn't really matter.
I had to play it like 6 times, and I was like, I can't hear a single word that's being said.
Yeah, me neither.
But I was like, but the beat sounds like Doesn't Really Matter by Janet Jackson. I was like, I could be wrong, but like that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, and then I listened to it. Yeah, I listened to it in the middle of the restaurant. I'm like, yeah, it's Janet Jackson. Doesn't Really Matter. And that song is a bop. It is so good.
Really good song.
That's a good album too, by the way. It's good
One of her best.
That album.
One of her best.
So yeah, those are my recommendations for this week.
Okay, I have a lot of recommendations.
Oh, okay, dang.
A lot. I have 3.
Ooh.
First one is Starbucks pumpkin cream cold brew. Delicious.
Which I still haven't tried, by the way.
I had 2 last week.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. You see what I do when I just at home?
Oh yeah.
When I'm just stuck at home, like I just order stuff. So yeah, it's delicious. It's everything the pumpkin spice latte wants to be. I do not like the pumpkin spice latte.
Me neither.
But the pumpkin cream cold brew is the perfect amount of pumpkin.
What does it taste like though? Because I feel like all I ever hear is that, oh my gosh, it's really good, just try it. But I'm like, what does it taste like?
So, the bottom is just cold brew.
Okay.
The pumpkin cream is like a hint of pumpkin with a little bit of like cinnamon.
Ooh.
It's very good. And then they like sprinkle a little bit of cinnamon on top. Very
like
good.
That sounds good.
Very good.
So is it like coffee with like a hint of like pumpkin pie? Is that like the vibe?
Yeah, kind of.
Well, that doesn't sound too bad.
It's my favorite fall drink.
I might have to actually commit.
You should try it. My second recommendation is The Morning Show on Apple TV Plus. Great show. Great leads. Reese Witherspoon, Jennifer Aniston.
Love it.
I don't know if he's going to be in this season, but Steve Carell.
Yeah.
He is not a good guy in this show. I'm just going to tell you that right.
No.
He is not. He is not. But it's a good show.
It is
a lot of good drama. Apple TV got my money.
They finally got you.
They finally got me. Because the first time when I watched season 1, I just waited for the entire season to come out, and then I just used like a 7-day trial
right
to watch it all. But then like season 2 came out, and I was like, I can't do that again.
Yeah.
And so now I'm paying for it. And so now, while I have Apple TV Plus, I'm finally gonna get into Ted Lasso, because like everyone talks about that show.
Oh yeah, huh?
So yeah, I'm gonna get into it.
I feel like there's a lot of good things on Apple TV, but like, I don't hear about it.
I also want to try that Chris Evans show. I never heard anyone talk about it, so I want to see how that goes.
What show?
I think it's called Defending Jacob.
Oh, yeah.
I think his son like murdered someone or something, and he swears his son didn't. I bet he did.
He probably did. He probably did.
Probably did. Yeah. So, yeah, watch The Morning Show. It comes out weekly. Wish I could binge it. But you know, it's fine. Recommendation number 3. Never Knew I Needed by Neo. I believe this is his best song. I truly do. Every time I hear it, it's like I'm hearing it for the first time. And I don't even think this song is on an album. I think it's just on the Princess and the Frog soundtrack, which is very sad because this is my favorite Neo song. It should be on an album.
It really should.
It's amazing. It's immaculate.
It's a great song.
Great vocals. Great song. It has a bridge. I love a bridge.
Right.
Love a bridge.
I'm surprised it didn't get played more, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it should.
Like even as a standalone. It should have been.
I also want to hear him perform this song live.
Ooh.
I should have looked it up to see if he has. I don't think he has, but
I'll
he
check.
should perform this live.
I'm gonna check.
But yeah, while she's checking, that's it for me. So thank you for listening. Don't forget to follow us on our social media. We have a Twitter and an Instagram. They're both at SYTYI Podcast. We also have a YouTube where you can listen to old episodes. I'm pretty much caught up on YouTube.
Let's go.
Like, I did it. I'm so proud of myself. Last episode I added was Legally Blonde.
Oh my God.
So I'm pretty much caught up. Very proud of myself.
Yeah, good for you. Also, side note.
Also,
there are live performances of it. It's just the people who record it very low quality.
Oh,
there's not
I need a good quality.
Like I think it was even done on a TV show, but even that quality looks terrible.
Oh no, I need a high quality. Maybe he can do like an at-home concert, something like that. I need quality. I do. I need to be able to.
It looks like it was on Regis and Kelly, but I don't know where these people are getting the quality from. But
whoa, how long ago did Princess and the Frog come out?
Honestly,
Regis and Kelly.
Yeah, I honestly don't want to know because I know it's gonna make me sad.
Kelly has had 2 different co-hosts since then.
Yeah, I know.
Wow. That really made me feel old when you said Regis and Kelly. Kelly, when did it come out? I know my sister was very young when it came out.
When do you think it came out?
I feel like she was like 3, so like 2010?
2009.
Oh, crap.
This movie is 12 years old.
Wow.
Why did it feel like it came out like 6 years ago?
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I guess a lot of movies have come out since then.
Yeah, you're right. But still, oh my gosh.
Oh, that's bad.
Oh my gosh, bro.
I'm not going to think about this. I'm going back to the outro.
Just bye. Sorry, we're old.
yeah, we're old. Don't forget to send us your movie requests and your movie stories. Are you a part of the Santa Rosa High School governing board? How did you feel when you watched this movie and saw at the end that Wes Craven hates you? Right. Let us know.
Like you got the shout out, but not the one you wanted.
Not the one you wanted. Let us know at sytyipodcast@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you can share us with your friends and your family. You can subscribe to us wherever you listen, like on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you listen.
Mm-hmm.
Also, if you could, it would be very nice if you could rate and review us on Apple Podcasts.
Yes, please.
Yes, please. Also, don't forget to wear your mask. Flu season is coming. It's coming, guys. Be prepared. Wash your hands.
Yes. Y'all are nasty.
Please get vaccinated before we get another strain that is resistant to vaccines, and then we'll have to start all of this all over. So please get vaccinated. Yeah, and stay iconic.
Stay iconic, y'all.
Bye.
Bye. Oh.
Yeah, you have to end the recording. I'm keeping this in.
No,
I'm keeping this in.
No. Bye. Stay spooky.